Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Nutshell Report. Or is it a Nutshell Report? My name is Ian J. Peterson, I'm blind, and I'm your host. On today's episode, I want to talk about the property bubble and the rent crisis. How comes that everything is getting out of range for the working class people? My wife and I live on the subtropical island of Madeira, which is an autonomous region of Portugal and situated in the Atlantic. A beautiful place to be. 2.5 years ago, we moved here onto the island, looking around for apartments, and back in the days, a T1 apartment you could find easily around 500, 600, 650. T2 apartments depends on which area, would be around 700 or 800. We found a house for €800, which was a 3-bedroom. So it was all kind of in a nice budget and affordable if you have a half decent income. Now we found this apartment. It's a T1 where we live in at the moment, and we pay €550 a month plus bills. A few weeks ago we got a letter of our landlord telling us that we have to move out by February next year, as he is planning to sell the property. And that seems to be the trend here on the island, that everybody who's renting is now selling for everybody who has money to spend to come over. For example, our apartment is 55 square meters and will cost you €170,000 to buy, which for some people is cheap, for most people is unaffordable. If you think that €170,000 of a 55 square meter apartment will break down to roughly around the €3,000 square meter price, I don't know where they're coming up with those prices. So we can't afford anymore to be here, because of course we can't buy the apartment because we don't have €170,000 somewhere flying around. So now we're in the pickle of looking for a new place to rent, which seems to be a nightmare. We're looking for apartments T1, T2, as we are digital creators and work from home. So we need a bedroom and maybe an little office room where we can have 2 desks in it and work independently from home. Finding this now is very expensive. If you want a T2, a 2-bedroom apartment, or you've turned 1 bedroom into an office, it will cost you €800-900 easily and upwards. Okay, you can find cheaper too. Those ones are very rare to find, and they're mostly gone by the time you see the advertisement on the internet. So our financial situation is that, as I'm legally blind, I'm 95% handicapped, so I can't work anymore. I'm trying to build up this podcast to hopefully in the future make some money with it. We have a little YouTube channel which is not bringing any money yet, and my wife just started the company to be independent 3 months ago, where we had to put in a substantial amount of money of our savings into it to buy computers, equipment, office equipment, all this, whatever you need. When you start you always pay a lot. Then there's a long period where you have to suffer or to make it work. We are in this period now, on and off. We're getting money, so that's fine, but we still can't afford to rent for those prices. So let me know, guys, what is it in your area, in your country? Is it the same? I mean, the housing prices are crazy here. We see T2 apartments for sale. So that means you have 2 bedrooms, ensuite, and half bathroom, like a guest bathroom. 120 square meters for around $345,000 upwards. This is insane. Here in the area where we live, the minimum wage is €705 at the moment. It will go up in January to €760. This is before tax. After tax, you maybe have around €600 left if you're on the minimum wage. So how are you supposed to rent? How are you supposed to survive? It is not only the rent you have to take care of. You have to pay the rent. You have to take all bills, like say phone, internet, electricity, water, gas, heating, whatever you have, plus on top insurances. And don't forget, maybe you want to eat once in a while. So groceries are going up. Groceries went up by 14%. The inflation rate is going up like crazy. We're in a horrible time at the moment. Our generation, I'm 45 now, my wife is younger. She tells me she's 19, but she's not. So our generation, we first had to go through all of the COVID, No, it started actually in 2010-11 when we had the big economic crisis. This one we had to cope with. Then we had to cope with the COVID pandemic. And now we have to deal with maybe 2-3 years of recession thanks to the war in Ukraine and this nutbag Putin just bumming the world back into the Stone Age. So horrible times ahead. Don't you worry, my wife and I, we will make it through. We always do. We went through a lot of shit in our life so far, but we will make it through. And we now have to find somewhere to rent, affordable, which we hopefully will find. So let me know, guys, what's going on in your area, what's going on in your country. I assume it's everywhere the same. I think capitalism is just ruining the whole world at the moment. I'm really glad that you're listening and hopefully you tune in to more and more episodes. Not all of them will be like downing like this one. There will be also cheerful episodes, don't you worry. And just information here for you guys as I am trying to make a little bit of money. I host my podcast on the Buzzsprout platform, link below if you want to see it. If you are planning into having a podcast or building a podcast, or you have a podcast and you're not happy with your host, check out Buzzsprout. You will get a little benefit there. I think it's a $20 Amazon gift card when you sign in with them. I'll pay at the moment €18 per month for I think 4 hours of recording time. Buzzsprout is very handy to have because they make it very easy for you to submit your podcast to all major platforms. You have a small little website with a podcast player on it, and the uploading is very easy. You have also a magic mastering tool on it, which costs a little bit more, but it's included in my €18, which is taking care of most of the sound problems. So guys, if you're in the market for a new host, Buzzsprout is the place to go. Thank you very much for listening, guys, and tune in the next time.